I'm driving the 2016 HSV Clubsport R8 LSA. The new R8 has picked up a supercharged version of the LS engine, and it's inherited a hand-me-down driveline from its big brother, the GDS. It's got its own new suspension and a new styling package. So some of the styling upgrades for 2016, we've got a new, unique to the Clubsport front skirt. The GDS has its own. We've got a new set of wheels. In fact, there's a few new set of wheels. We've got the big shiny red brakes, and it looks like somebody has gone down to Repco and bought some aftermarket bonnet scoops and put them on here. These are actually functional, I'm told, to get a lot of the air out from the big hot LSA engine. In fact, there were actually meetings, many meetings, about the amount of air that could pass through these to get air in to cool this big hot engine. So inside the car, it's much the same affair as last time. If you remember that there were a couple of dials down here that I thought were really cool, looked like they've been put in aftermarket, something that you might do yourself. They've been removed and they've been replaced with a panel for your cell phone or whatever, and you've also gained a 12-volt outlet. Those dials now feature in the EDI system, which has been slightly updated and now has racetracks. It's even got the full set of Hampton Downs. We've got a slightly updated steering wheel. We've got great seats. I can't get over how much I love these seats. Not that they're the most comfortable for long distance, but they really do hold you in very nicely. But all of these things kind of add up to much of a muchness, because it's not really about how the car looks, it's about how it goes. And it drives very well. To try and explain how this car feels to drive is quite difficult. You've got to remember, this is a 1700 kilo car, and it feels like it more so than the previous car. You'll notice at most when you try and stop this car, it's got phenomenally huge brakes on it, but it still does take quite a long time to slow down. In fact, I would say probably the brakes on this car are one of its least redeeming features. Obviously, we need to talk about this engine. I loved the LS3 engine, I loved the noise it made, I loved the power it made, and this is better. One thing that I think is a little bit of a shame in regards to that engine though, is that you can't hear it. And what I mean by that is the sound deadening in this cabin is so good, you can't hear the supercharger winding up, and I want to hear that. You know, I mean, if I'm going to go and drop $100,000 on a supercharged 6.2 litre V8, I want to know about it all the time. Now, given that this is supposed to be a driver's car, there needs to be some things addressed. One, this car is not scary enough, not by a long shot. You gotta remember, this is a 400 kilowatt taxi. Now, most people would think that if you put 400 kilowatts in a standard family saloon, that's gonna be a bad idea because it's gonna be dangerous and you'll die. That is not the case with this car. You know, these cars have, you know, against the Ford and the Holden rivalry, they have so much behind them in terms of the passion and the drive about the people that like these cars for what they are. I almost feel that this is kind of letting them down by not being mental enough. So that's been the 2016 HSV Clubsport R8 LSA. Now unfortunately, this is a last hurrah as far as we understand it. The Commodore name will continue and the HSV name will continue, but this is the end of an era. That's quite sad.